many times I heard the thread of, let's get better together. How can we get better together? How can we be better together? And to me, that's important as well. We have standards here. We have standard operating procedures, and let's do it together. So we kind of talk about teams throughout, and to me, that's personally just really hit home, and I think we can get better at it. I mean, I think we're good, but I think we can be better here. So that's why I want to share my ideas with you today, and I'll learn from everyone here as well. So I wanted to share with you my overall goals at Rosy-Lane Hostings. So first thing is to have employees come to work with a smile on their face, because I know they're happy, and they're probably going to likely do a better job while they're here. I want to have employees go home safe at the end of the day to their families. So I've been big on safety. And I want to have a lineup of people who want to work here. And we're working on that. So I'm thrilled to hear you have a wait list. That's great. Send some more. So we're working on all those things, and I'm doing less and less on a daily basis at Rosy-Lane, or weekly basis. Lloyd and I are at that age where we're trying to do a little less and phase out gracefully and slowly over time. Tim and Jordan are already owners. They're already doing 80% of the work here to keep people going every day. So I think that's a good balance. But some of my goals for the staff that we have at Rosy-Lane, and I say staff because it's a shorter word than employee. I don't like employee. They're fellow team members, so that gets a little long. So I just do staff, but we're all together on the same team. And I would really like to have our staff be excited about and interested in the dairy industry and what's happening. And Simon mentioned a little bit about that, being involved in the big picture, being passionate about it. And you'll do it no matter what if you're excited about it. So I think that's important. I would like our entire staff to feel that this is not just a farm, but we are food producers, producing food for America and families in our town and the towns beyond ours. That I think is a big shift. It's a major change, but I think we're working towards that slowly. Some of our animal care things, some of our safety things, we're moving in that direction. It's not overtly, but I feel that over time, that's how I would like all our staff to feel, that they're part of producing food for families, and we're not just here to work on the farm and milk the cows or feed the animals today. We do have 3 pillars that we've put together and cited in our vision: great people, great cows, great returns. So when we have partner meetings, we'll talk about those things. And what are we discussing? Is it going to help us have great people? Is it going to help us have great cows or great returns? And I should qualify the great returns, because great returns to us is returns to our team, and are they growing, getting better, and learning more? Returns to the environment, are we making our environment a better place and having less negative impact on it? And great returns to our community, so that is why we get involved in our community and speak up when I go to, say, the Marquardt Village Nursing Home and give presentations and talk about the dairy industry the way it used to be, where it is now, and where we see it going in the future. We go to the Chamber of Commerce and sponsor our June Dairy Month, Wake Up Watertown, where Tim and Jordan got to talk about what we do on the farm and how technology and how staff is important to what we do. So the returns are not really monetary returns, but in the end, if we're doing all those things right, we're probably going to get some positive monetary returns over the long term. So we try and share that with everyone. If you toured the farm this morning, you saw a big farm sign right above the milking powders like this big. We also put it on about everything we do, hopefully. We've got little magnets like this small that we give to all our staff when they join, and they're always available as a handout. So we're really trying to share that with everyone, because we think that's important, that they're all buying in, that they're feeling part of that vision for what we want to be. And I wouldn't say it's just our vision, it's really also our core beliefs, because if we're doing those things right, everything else will come. And those are things that Lloyd and I have found out over the years. We started small, 70 cows, now we're at 1,000 roughly. But those are things that we together built. We got it from our parents, some of our core values, growing up on farms, working with animals our whole lives. And those things have just morphed and changed and gotten better and become a different part of our formula over the years. I'd like our team members here, our staff, to see that they have a role to a better professional development, that we can help them get where they want to go. Some of them might be here 1 year, some might be 2 years, some might be 10 years, some might be even more. But the goal would be to have them all have Rosy-Lane help them get where they want to go. It might be personally or professionally, but that's what we want to do. To that end, every year we do a talent reflection with staff, and I have copies here. I'll put them on the back table. If you'd like to take one, you can. This is something that's kind of a hybrid I took it from my involvement in our local hospital as a board member there, and there's an amazing amount of parallels between healthcare and agriculture, so I tried to bring some of the tools I learned about there to our farm. And we'd already been doing performance reviews. That's kind of morphed and changed now to talent reflections, where each person does their own every year. We ask them to fill this out, we sit down and talk with them about it, and then the last question is, where do you want to be, or what do you want to do in 5 years, and how can Rosy-Lane help you achieve this? So then it's up to us to help support them get where they want to go. And maybe their goal is to save money, go back to Mexico and start a business. We'll help you. We'll do that. You might be only here 3 years or 5 years, but we can do that. And we know that. That's part of that plan. Maybe someone just wants to get some basic experience for a year or two before they go to veterinary school. Maybe they want to stay here forever and milk a cow. And maybe some of them want to learn other skills. Maybe someone else wants to learn how to calve in cows, how to do herd check, how to do other things. Not everybody does. And in America, we always want to rise up the ranks, right? That was hard for me to kind of grasp. Not everybody wants to do that. Some people just like learning a basic skill and maybe a little more. Being on a team, working in different shifts or something. Some people just like doing the same thing every day. Okay, we can work with that, but we don't know that until we sit down and talk with you about it. So that's been one thing I think that has helped us understand each person a little more. And if they're not answering these questions, right, or we don't get a good vibe after we talk with them about what they've jotted down, we know that over time that probably will self-select out. I don't like to fire people. I have fired people. It's not fun. It's not pretty. But if they can self-select out, it saves everybody a lot of hassle, right? A lot of hassle. So I think the talent reflection is a little bit toward that end. Some things our partners have done in the past year to help us get a better handle maybe on our staff and know what they're doing and what they're thinking. Hear a few comments, random maybe here and there. But we did an employee benefit survey, was the first thing. So we talked about the benefits we have. We listed some, we listed some more, and said, what else do you think? And they got to fill it out, they sent it back, and we looked through what they said they wanted. Well, of course, it's more money, more time off. I can't go through the litany of things, but there was quite a bit, and we did adjust some of the things. We upped our vacation policy a little bit based on that. We gave people raises. We gave people that had been here 10 years a bonus. We actually, looked at what they told us and we reacted to that. I think we did 5 of the top 6 things they asked for. So we quit giving out the Schwann's treats and we quit doing the things that we thought were important. We're still giving sweatshirts away because we think it's important that everybody have a nice sweatshirt or t-shirt with their name on it and the logo. But, I think they value it. I just don't think they realize how much they valued it. But anyway, we did a survey, we looked at the data, we adjusted our things, and then we told our staff, hey, you told us these things, we went through, this list, and we actually changed things. And so we did 4 of the top 5 or 5 to 6, whatever. And we wanted them to know we listened to them, okay? I think that could have been missed when I look back on it. They would have done the survey and, that people that weren't here 10 years, they didn't know that the 10-year people got a bonus. They probably still don't, but the people that do know they got it and that we're paying for longevity, paying for people that want to be here and have that right attitude about being here. And then those people are then sharing just their excitement for being here, hopefully, with the people they work with. We also did an employee engagement survey, so it's very short. We worked with Landmark Cooperative, Michelle, thank you for that, helping us get that started. Just some basic checkpoints of, I feel I have the tools to do my job. I feel that my team members, are all working in the same direction. I feel that I have, friends at work, or just things that we know you got a handle on. You like coming every day. And I failed to introduce Tia Rosno, who is our executive assistant. She's over here. She helped organize today. And Tia is responsible for making sure everyone has the tools they need to do their job right. In fact, last year she found people that needed tools. They didn't even know they needed the tools, but Tia had them the tools. Because she's looking, she's paying attention. Really, that's exactly what she did. And the person was trying to do something with the wrong tool, and she goes, well, wouldn't you just want me to get you a toolbox? And she goes, oh, yeah. So that is paying attention to things, it's empowering Tia, and it's always important too as well to empower the staff we have to ask for things. So you get asked a lot of times for things. Get me this, can I have that? How about a different this, or what can we do? And so that's been very important to make everyone feel, and when they get it, they're a lot easier for asking the next time and the next time for whatever it is they need. If it's a Leatherman, if it's a new building, if it's just a piece of equipment, maybe more paper towels or less paper towels, I don't know what it is, but We want people to feel empowered to ask for those kinds of things. And to see them and see the little just signs that, hey, you might need something, I better go check on that, or I can ask them about it. So that's important, and it's giving the employees the tools they need to do their job. I don't ever want an excuse that says, well, I can't do that because the screen paper, no. Don't buy that, so. I don't, so we're trying to make sure we have a tool and maybe an extra one too on hand, right? And Tia helps us do that, and we hope that the staff also feels empowered to ask Tia. So she manages all those kinds of things now that I used to do, but over time it just, it didn't work so much anymore. And I would also like to look at our farm as not just a farm and where people work. I would like us to help people take advantage of their skills. And oh, by the way, Rosy-Lane helps them get there. So, we think about, here's our farm, here's all the great things we do, and everybody should want to be a part of our team, up to the triangle. I think it should be just the opposite. I think we want you to achieve what you want, and we got to balance all these things up here. And if you're, on our team, if you're on our boat, so to speak, or on our journey together, we can make this work. I'm going to have to tip a little and then have to, but we're all going to be together on this. And the end goal is we're going to help you get where you want to be through Rosy-Lane, but it's not. We have a farm and we need lots of good people to help us. Okay, so it's a really different mindset, and I think over time that will evolve. You can't just do it tomorrow or next week. I mean, it doesn't just change, right? That is part of culture and how you think about employees as one of your resources. So that's one of my goals as I'm phasing out to help more of those things happen over time. And it's about attitude, and Jordan will talk a little bit more about attitude and hiring on attitude. We can train you to do all the things we need to do, basically. In fact, we'd probably prefer that. But if you have a positive attitude and you like animals, amen, that's great. That's a great, great start for working here. And I think also, as in general, we'd like our team members to feel a part of our vision and mission. And to your point, Paul, about measuring progress, that's very important. Whether it's the calf barn looking or calf wellness, our health goals, the pounds of milk we ship, which we post every day, the pregnancy rate, somatic cell count, those are things we want input on from our staff, and the partners may kind of decide. And we have our own, 10 or 12 key measures that we're watching as partners, but in the 3 departments we have, which are basically crops, cows, and calves, what are the things they're looking at? What do they want to measure? What things help motivate them for the next step? So Tim posts here on the refrigerator in his office the deviations for the feed, and they're very low. When they get high, I think they're talking about it, okay? But they're really low and they want to keep them low. So that's just one small little thing, post on the refrigerator, and they're more, I would say, almost self-policing and cajoling each other about let's meet that, let's keep that point. So there's lots of little things that we measure that make big difference in the end. And I think one thing that I would say, I think Rosy-Lane does very well is the 4 partners are at the farm most days. Not every single person every day, but over time, Tim's on vacation today, but we're here this week. We're here walking the walk, talking the talk, doing the stuff that makes so pretty sometimes. And Lloyd and I are doing less of that, but Tim and Jordan are doing more of that. So over time, they see that everyone cares, that we're not just, coming out when there's a problem or the top down. I hate that. I don't like that at all. So I think we're being a little more proactive on that end of being here and talking about things as they go. You see something and you catch it right away. You don't have to wait till there's 10 things on your list and call a meeting and do this. It doesn't work so good. So a couple things I just wanted to mention. We have an onboarding process. It's written down really nicely. Again, we worked a little bit with our friends at Landmark, 6 pages maybe, and there's a whole page of safety rules and a signature page. But when people start here, we go through this with them. Before they even come here, we write an official letter of welcome. We have a personal signed note that's pictures from Rosy-Lane that we send to all of the people by day 3 of work here, saying thanks for being part of our team. And we go through our vision, our mission. We do all the regular paperwork, of course, you got to have. We have a mentor assigned that talks to them. It's kind of supporting them. I went to lunch with Natalie the other day. She's been here 2 months, and so I just want to say, hey, Natalie, how's it going? Recharge her with what I would like to see her do, and what she's doing already is bringing good things to the table, reinforce that. We do a welcome banner on the first day. Don got a welcome banner, and so we think that's it. When people leave, if it's 99% on good terms, we have a banner that says good luck, whoever it is, and it's up for 3 or 4 days before they go. Our safety program has evolved. Really would like that to be a positive peer pressure thing. And we have outside people that come in and evaluate our safety, give us hints. We as partners have to fix things, the physical things, but just having people remind their fellow worker, oh, you got to wear gloves for that. Oh, you forgot your seatbelt. You know, that is where I want to get to. We're not there yet, but we're working on that. And I think if they see how important that is and why it's safe, that will come, again, over time. But that positive peer pressure is where I really want to develop to be the safety motivator, I guess. Besides just, I'm going home safe to my family. And if there's an accident, we talk about it. What happened? What could have we done to prevent that? What can we do next time? So like the firefighters, they go, after they have a fire, they go back and talk through every single step they took. How can they get better? What can they do differently? So I'm hoping that model can help a little bit here with our safety.
Yeah,
And
question.
yes.
How do you go through that process without people feel like you're pointing out and blaming them for the specific problem?
I would say I haven't sat in on those specifically, but Jordan does some with his training, and it's just, we had an incident, you know, Doug was injured, this is basically what happened, and how can we prevent that next time? And just throw out a question, just raise questions, you know, what can we do differently next time? It's not the past.
I'm going to add one thing into that. Most of the stuff that goes wrong has happened over 10 years, multiple times, right? It's just different people that maybe, but I think you leave the person off the hook if possible, saying, well, that's happened before, and we just need to slow down and you know, and don't worry about it. It's fixable as long as you're okay. And that if you leave the person off the hook, at least the first time, I think that has a positive effect. But most of these mistakes, I mean, you know, gates get broken not once every 10 years. When they get broke every 10 minutes by the same person, right? So if you leave people off the hook, that's at least until they prove themselves not to be worthy of that.
So yeah, just ask questions as much as you can. Just ask questions, draw them out, let them have the discussion as a staff. That's, I guess, my biggest point.
And is this something you do as a group, or you have a one-on-one meeting, or how do you?
Depends on the incident, I guess. You know, if it's just a little thing, you talk to them as you're going through the day. If it's a bigger thing, you'd probably do it at a quarterly meeting. So we have quarterly animal care meetings, and we have at least 2 safety meetings a year. So we have probably meetings 6 times a year with everyone. Officially, you have, you know, an hour or 2-hour meeting if it has to be that long to go over whatever. And we would cover these things probably at that time, but preferably it'd be better just to have the night shift, sit down and talk with you the next morning when, you know, you're coming or going. You know, you have 6 people at the table or 4 people. A smaller group setting would be more ideal. And the last thing we talked about was recruiting a little bit. You know, you should just be recruited basically when you needed someone to fill a job, and now you have to do it all the time. And it's a challenge. We've got lots of different kinds of people we need. We're still short someone here on the props team from spring. It's, you know, we had someone hired, they were here a couple months and they just left, and it didn't work out, and that's probably for the best, but we're still looking to hire someone. So we've talked about it as partners. What we're doing is trying to focus on FFA kids. How can we get them here? Maybe they go to school for a year, come back. Maybe they work here for a year or 2, then they go to school, and then they could come back if they really want to. Short course, UW short course, we've had some alumni of that group here. Veterinary kids have been here. College kids going to veterinary school. They typically wouldn't stay, but even if we had them for 3 months or 6 months, they're really good. They can teach other people here, you know, some things. And we have that going on right now a little bit. Word of mouth, Facebook has helped us get our last person here. And actually, Donna told me, you know, they know Rosy-Lane all over his neighborhood. And I'm like, well, that's really good, but it's not getting us people forever. But we have a very good international exposure. We need to work more here at home and get that. So we're constantly recruiting, going to different events, and I just tell everybody I know, you know, you have someone who's good, you know, we're open to hiring anyone. So we don't ever say you have to have this or you have to have that. And George can talk more about his process, but I wanted to show you some things that we do for our staff people that we recruit. So when they're here for their first day or even before, we usually give them a water bottle with the Rosy-Lane logo, get a lunch bag, okay, really nice with our logo actually on the lid here, with our vision on it. Great people, great sales, great returns. And inside we have a sweatshirt for the fall. So before Dairy Expo, we have hundreds of visitors. They all get a sweatshirt. They all get a t-shirt. Fits them. We have a nice supply. We'll give them our magnet I talked about and a postcard with pictures. This is always a handout that we have. Here's a little note card that we did up that everybody gets a thank you. And I also encourage our partners just to write thank yous to your staff, to a supplier, to anybody that makes a difference in your life. I don't know if you've read the 365 Days of Thank Yous. There's a good book. Thank you, gratitude. And if people know that you care and that you appreciate something, they might go a little extra mile for you. So we have these cards to make that very easy to do. So with that, I'm going to turn over to Jordan, who can give you some more specifics and talk a little bit about some other elements of Rosy-Lane.
So for me, I guess culture started, or when it became important to me was, I'd say like 5, 6, 7 years ago. We talked about labor shortages and how we just can't seem to find people anymore. But when I took over my current role at the farm, hiring, milking parlor staff, there's 4 to 5 people, it seemed like a day showing up. So people seemed like a commodity. It was really easy. I don't like that guy, you can head out the door. Well, it'll be a couple new warm bodies with a pulse, and we can build a spot, no big deal. But that slowed down quite a bit, and I think everyone in this room knows that. So when we were developing our vision statement, I think that's why we made a big push to put people first. We can have the best animals in the world, we can have the most beautiful facilities. If we don't have high quality people working here, nothing else matters. So that needs to start, number one. When we started realizing this change, not only was it hard for our staff that was here, but if we were short-staffed, but we needed to have those conversations of, if we're going to train a new milker, do we really want to go through 3 and 4 people like has been the history of our farm? Or are we okay being short-staffed for a little while and do a little more interviewing, maybe a working interview, involve some people from our organization in that interview to see, is this someone that's going to fit in? Can we get along personality-wise with this person? Do they bring a right attitude? Just from initial, it doesn't take a lot of conversation, a couple 20-minute interviews, and we can figure that out pretty good. I think we've reduced from that, like Paul said, 5 to 1, we're probably down to that 2 to 1, getting people to stay here for a little longer. And it seemed like we used to have a 60 to 90-day turnover. I think we're really doing better getting people to that probably 3-4 years right now. If we can get them here longer than a week, if they realize this is hard work, these are people that I can work with, we can get 3 years out of them. Or we started to see we might lose people is if there's someone that wants to move up in a company and we don't necessarily have an open role for them at that point. That's unfortunate, and we do have to wish them the best. We've had scenarios where people want to move up, they want to do something exciting, that we might not have that opportunity, and we already have someone in that role, and they'll leave. I can think of 3 high-quality people on our team that have left and come back. And that, to me, is a good sign that what we have going is good. We have a lady in our cat farm that left. She wanted to be a CNA. She said, I always wanted to be a nurse. I want to go work with people. I don't think she was gone 6 months, and she said, people are unappreciative. People talk back, and I want nothing to do with that. So she works in our cat farm. She's the lead up there. And she said, these calves, if you take care of them, they're happy, they're excited, they're jumping around, and that's instant gratification. When I'm working with an old crabby man at a nursing home, it doesn't matter what I did to try to help him, he's just pissed, so that's not fun. We've had plenty of people stay in the industry and work at different locations, dairy farms or what have you, and they've come back, which to me is saying that what we have here is something special. So again, when we're talking about what we think is culture, we interview very slow. For a milker position, very introductory level position on our farm, we're going to spread that interview out over 2 weeks traditionally. So we don't want someone that's just looking for a job. We want someone that's heard about Rosy-Lane, heard about some good things about us, and they're willing to wait 2 weeks if they're unemployed to get that job here. So we'll do an initial day interview. Usually it's just a conversation. See who you are, where you're from, you live locally, you have a car. I try to meet them or greet them at their car. I take a peek in their car. Is their car clean or is it a mess? If it's a mess, it's probably going to leave a mess at the farm. It's not what we want. And then give them an application that say, please take this home. You can call me when it's done. I'd love to be back with you and have a 15-minute interview in a couple days. But make sure you call me so I can set aside time and we both can have a good quality conversation, not just show up at any time you want. So we have to, communicate to them that there's structure here. It's not just willy-nilly do what you want. So we'll have that conversation. Then usually we'll wait a couple days and then have a third conversation where we might do a brief farm tour. They can get to know the layout of the farm. We'll look at the parlor where they're going to probably be milking cows. And then have a few interactions with some of our staff. It's nice to have Julio, who's the lead in the barn. He's our herdsman. Just come say hi, how are you? Oh, I recognize you, my kids play sports. Something like that, but a happy face, a smiling face, welcoming you to Rosy-Lane. And then if we do offer a job, it's probably going to be, say that's Wednesday, you can start next Monday. And everyone on our team is willing to sacrifice for 2 weeks. So I think a lot of these little things, being clear with communication with our staff and letting them know where they stand at all times, giving positive and constructive feedback. When we talk about safety issues that Daphne brought up, it's nice not always to, if someone doesn't get hurt, you saw them climbing the ladder and someone's holding the bottom, make sure to point that out and say, great, that was safe, guys. We're thinking about those things. We used to have skid loader buckets in the air with the ladder hanging out, and the guy climbed up the skid loader to reach the peak of the barn. That's not happening anymore. So that's good. We are making progress, but we need to find the good in people. I agree with a lot of what Paul says. There's easier ways to make money than dairy farming, so I have to believe that people have good intentions when they show up every day. It's hard work with cows. Don looked his first cows the other day, and it's hard work in a farm. I don't care who you are. They're not built for the easiest style of work, so I think people like what they do that show up to our farm every day. We need to pat them on the back for that and hope that they're here to do good. I guess building off not just culture at our farm, but Daphne said around town, there's a lot of what we do to try to make Rosy-Lane swag. So we're always thinking, where can we slap our logo on something else that, while we don't employ the most people around, we do encompass a huge area that we work with. So, Paul employs 250 people, but he's got, let's say, 10 acres as a warehouse. We have 1,800 acres that we're hauling stuff back and forth with trucks on the road. So we want to protect our name and build our brand at all times. There's nothing better than one of our guys will show up and say, I went to parent-teacher conferences and I had my Rosy-Lane shirt on, and so-and-so was the teacher of Lauren or Taylor, and they knew what that, and there's always a smile on their face. That's what we need. That means that not only are our guys proud to wear Rosy-Lane here in town and public, but what we're doing is working, and we have a positive image on everyone that we've touched, or we just try to. So, again, we want to hire good people, we want to build them up daily. There's constant training to make sure that we are on the right path with people. We need people to know what is right and what is wrong. There's plenty of videos in the marketplace these days about animal care. We're always training and retraining animal care. People are going to have slip-ups. It's what do we do to either prevent that, or when it happens, how do we react to such things? I think all 4 partners go to bed every night confident that we're going to have good care at our farm, but we also have a plan for if there's not going to be quality care of our animals, because there's training. We have See It Stop, which is a program that we have buy-in from every employee, that if we see something that doesn't feel good to us, we can report it to Jordan, Lloyd, Daphne, and we know there's action that's going to be taken. So I think it's, again, if people are reporting something to me, they say, I really want to be anonymous, but something happened, they're going to continue to report if we see that there's action from that. I guess just a few stories that have helped me and set tones around the farm. I can think of one. About 5 years ago, once we started to really put emphasis on people and wanted to We are an employer of choice. I had a gentleman come to me and he said, I need 50 cents raised to live and I'm worth it, and blah, 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 blah. So we just went softly and quietly into the office and said, this is not how you ask for a raise. Your performance speaks to raises. If you're working hard every day, if your team members see it, they're going to bring it up. I'm going to notice it and we're going to give you that raise. If you're solely worried about 50 cents, I don't think you're at the right place to work. So I told him, I said, feel free to pack up your stuff and you're done as of today. And he looked at me in pure shock. And I said, well, what do you mean? I said, well, you're not happy here. No one is going crazy over 50 cents if they love the way they work. There's other factors that we have to talk about. Whether it's a shirt, whether it's you're working with 3 people that you know have your back every day and they're going to cover for you. If you have a family emergency, I can get time off at this place that I work. And so that set the tone, and everyone said, well, he was doing a good job. Well, what do you get rid of him? I said, he was really worried about 50 cents, and I don't think anyone should be worried about 50 cents. First off, I think we should pay and have our people at a level that they can live. It's not 50 cents is the difference between dinner tonight and not. We work hard to know what neighbors are paying, what the industry is paying. And our milkers are right at $14 and $15. We're happy. They're happy. No one's leaving. But that was one really big example that set some tone for our staff. And the other is constantly, if someone leaves, and they leave on good terms. So if we get a 2 weeks notice that says, hey, I've decided Rosy-Lane isn't the place for me, they're always looking for a rehire. If you don't give me any notice, you've burned your bridge, I'm sorry. And believe me, every employee is pissed at you because they might have to work a day off and they're going to have to work a little extra, and they don't forget that stuff. They forget a lot of the positive things, they don't forget. So when we have these rehires coming back, we have a guy Oscar for 3 years for us, and just said, I don't think I like milking cows, I want something different. And we worked at a neighbor's, he was more in machinery, driving tractors, and I think it's 9 months ago, he came back and said, boy, that's not for me. They don't have space in the milking parlor, I'd love to go back there. I said, boy, it just so happens we got some space, so glad to have you back. But Daphne and I were trying to think. I think there are 5, 6 people that have left on really good terms and come back, and it's nice because they bring a little something to our culture too, saying, yeah, not so bad here. We've been somewhere else, and things don't click at that place. They don't have all the tools. They don't have people that have a smile on their face. They're not worried about their safety. So those two to me are really important. Those are good signs when people are coming back to the farm that we are okay, we'll be okay long term. But as I've transitioned and we've transitioned as great people, I wanted to butcher every cow, I wanted to breed every cow, I wanted to do everything. Man, there is no time for that. It's all people. It takes an incredible amount of time, and like Paul said, it doesn't cost a lot of money. It's just my time. I don't need a tool, I don't need a computer. It's just, do I have 5 to 10 minutes for every employee every day? And that sucks up 3/4 of my day. Making sure going around, seeing someone do something positive, giving them a pat on the back. And if there's issues, we need to talk about that right then and there. It's not wait, by 5 I should have a half hour time slide in my schedule. No. I like the silence that we got River Falls is if you're late because of a student issue or in our case an employee issue. I don't know that we have that policy, but I do like that. That we private that employee issue. But I know we're all strict at it. We won't start reading a certain time. We need to be better be a good excuse. So, I guess that's